looks. YouTube link is in the bio. Make sure you guys don't miss that. Great gold looks. YouTube link is in the bio. Make sure you guys don't miss that. Good afternoon, guys. I'm live on YouTube now. Look how great gold looks. YouTube link is in the bio. Make sure you guys don't miss that. So guys, gold looks great today. Look at this daily candle. We will see massive push to the top side, hopefully, or even to the downside. We have another 100 pips either way. So YouTube link is in the bio. We are live now, so make sure you guys don't forget to tune in. Great today. Look at this daily candle. We will see massive push to the top side. What's up in YouTube? Welcome everyone. Welcome. Gold honestly looks good today. First thing first, obviously, Forex factory. Need to make sure we don't have any sort of volatile news events, because that can really obviously change the way we trade, right? Because it's going to bring a lot of volatility, but it seems like today is really clean. Tomorrow we do have some USD news coming in. That's going to be a really volatile day. That's amazing. 1:30, so basically when our session starts. Okay, so Wednesday is quite clean as well. We got Thursday's got USD folder, but it's orange. And then obviously we got Friday. So Friday, this will obviously go on whole day. So yeah, again, we have really clean price action throughout the whole week. Even today we should get really clean price action. So amazing stuff. Okay, going back on the monthly time frame, just give me a second, guys. You guys can hear me, right? I think my mic is working. On the YouTube, guys, can you hear me, by the way? Let me know. But yeah, looking at the monthly at this point, right? Because we are quite bullish on monthly, and at this point now, what's happened is previously we actually broke above this resistance, and at this point we grabbed a lot of liquidity in the market, and a lot of buy orders got executed as well. So now the next target we need to see, where's the most logical area that we can aim for. So every time we actually like clear this area, you can see price actually makes an upper wick all the way up to this level on the monthly time frame, and this is like the most recent resistance area that we have on the monthly time frame as well. So if we break down and go down all the way to the weekly time frame, look at this, very nice clean traffic all the way to the top side, and that's where we started the minor downtrend from, even though we do understand that we are quite bullish on gold, because we haven't really violated the structural lows, which are all the way down here. So from here, obviously this became our support, and then at this point became our resistance area, and from here we started that massive uptrend from, and then from there some sort of correction phase started, so minor downtrend in order to correct this whole explosive move to the top side. And now we've come down to retest the structural lows once, twice, and 3 times over here, and every time we have actually failed to break the structural lows. This could have been break of structure over here, grabbing a lot of liquidity, so orders could have been executed for us to start pushing all the way down. So obviously that was a failure. So at this point, guess what price will do? Price will start to form higher highs and higher lows. So this was our first attempt to form higher highs and higher lows, but look at this. So from here, this was the area where we got a rejection, and then after this area on the weekly, look at that, we had really nice clean traffic all the way to the top side of the resistance, which is all the way there. So I would not want to fight the trend, because we are still in an uptrend. At this point, we're breaking off the resistance as well. Even looking to the left, honestly, it's just such clean traffic, right? But we do want to be super careful though, because we do have this area that we are approaching, but that's still like 78 pips away. But again, price will never just move straight to the top side, so you do want to see where those rejection areas are. So this will be the rejection area we might have to look out for, but this is on the weekly time frame. Everything looks really great on the weekly time frame. Where did we create the bottom wick till? We created the bottom wick till 1856. So looking at 1856, usually price does come down to this level, and then we get those massive rejections. So that's a really nice bottom wick. We can actually see a rejection right here. Let me just quickly see if I can grab this over here. Yeah, let's just grab this. So we have a really nice rejection there. We have a really nice rejection here. So at this point now, we can safely say, okay, bottom wick has been created because we are rejecting off of this area. And then obviously when we do reject off of this area, what does price usually do? Look how many rejections we have over here. This is such a strong area, such a strong area. So price usually comes all the way up to the next zone, which is this support area that we have over here. We can see obviously price has rejected off of here numerous times, and it's actually we do have a really nice clean range, 74 pips, and gold has only moved about 100 pips on the weekly time frame, so that's really good for us. So let's go down to the daily time frame and see what the daily is looking like now. Okay, amazing, right? Look at all of these candles. This was our first rejection area on the daily time frame, on the intraday time frame that we have. I'll definitely mark this area as my key level because of this rejection that we had off of this area. It was a really strong rejection that we had. From here we came all the way to the downside, and obviously this became your pullback, right, rather than a rejection, because you did not violate the structural laws. So this is really good for us. Obviously the first we formed highs. This candle is what formed new highs at this point. This became your pullback candle. Same thing happened with the next candle as well. But look at the way this candle rejected. The rejection was really minor. So at this point now, this just becomes really clean price action to the top side. So if we can start forming some sort of higher highs and higher lows at this point now to take it all the way to the top side, and as soon as we start breaking above this, again there will be a lot of liquidity in the market. We will obviously either start to break to the top side, and then next target will be the next level that we have, which is 1875, or we're going to start rejecting this. So this will become our key zone. But that's the best thing. We're in the literally we're pretty much like, yeah, it's only moved about 100 pips. And how far are we from the top side? So we're literally we still have about 40 pips to the top side. So if you can see some sort of nice structure being formed, we can most definitely take it back up. So look at the 4-hour structure as well. This became your first rejection area. This became our first high that we formed. So let's see what's happened after this now. This became the first high. Price came all the way down. This became the structure lows. At this point, look, we failed to actually like close above here. So price came all the way down now. Again, look, this became your higher high over here, and this became your higher low, because at this point we actually closed above. Next, this was again higher low, because this low is actually below this low, as you guys can see. So price is actually forming higher highs, higher lows. We are quite bullish, so I would really not want to fight the structure, and I would like to actually like trade with the trend. And at this point we do understand that there is a lot of liquidity to the top side. So if we can start forming higher highs and higher lows above this area over here, that would be like the sweet spot, honestly. Even looking to the left, can we find something? When usually we do get really nice push up to the top side. Okay, this seems like it's the last bit of a rejection area, and it's a little bit choppy looking at the 4-hour, but again, we don't really want to go based off the 4-hour because it depends, it varies time to time as well. So this was actually around 2 o'clock. That's obviously your new 4-hour open, so we can't really make a comparison. This becomes your pullback. It's not a breakout. We're looking for a breakout at this point. This is a pullback. This is a breakout over here. So we can see obviously price, when it does break out of this, you'll go to the top side. So our targets are actually really nice. We can really take it to the top side. But obviously at this point, in order for us to take it to the top side, we need to wait for those pullbacks. Where do we usually see the pullbacks from? Let's see if we can find something on the lower time frames. Even look at the structure on the hourly time frame as well. Everything looks so clean, so clean. So this became our first high that we did form, and then at this point now, this kind of just becomes your pullback. Look at this, you're forming this double bottom over here on the hourly time frame. That's actually really strong. And looking to the left, usually price comes up to this level. From here you get those pullbacks, so maybe we can expect a pullback from this area. Look at that, price came up here. From here we got a pullback all the way down to this level, and then from there we actually did start our downtrend as well. As we can see, we started a downtrend. From there we started to form a new low, right? This was our minor downtrend. So obviously we are approaching this area that we do have to watch out for. So if we do start clearing this area, I think we're coming all the way to the top side of the range. At that point, this will either become our rejection area, we'll start forming a double top. So obviously this becomes our first top right here. This is something we can expect, either another rejection up here, or we're going to start clearing this. A lot of buy orders are going to start being executed up here, and then from there you're also going to have a lot of liquidity, because look at this, we rejected here numerous times now, actually numerous times. So we've been holding this ever since like the 10th of November, as you guys can see. So there is a lot of sell orders right here. So yeah, I think this will be a great day today, great session. We can definitely take gold all the way to the top side, or we can even actually like capitalize on these sells. But until then, obviously our session starts in the next 22 minutes. So now obviously we need to see, okay, cool, in order for us to actually capitalize on a buyer position, it has to be from a decent place, right? So where did we see a nice rejection from? So we have a rejection from this area on the hourly time frame. Maybe we can find something on 30 minutes as well. So we can see that this is actually the top side of the range. We are at the top side of the range. We have been consolidating. This became a top side, and obviously forming a double top up here as well. And then price actually started to explode all the way to the top side from here. These were the lows we formed, and look at that, we have a resistance right there as well. So now in order for us to capitalize on buys, we need to wait for some sort of pullbacks, and that would be when our session starts. The new 30-minute candle will potentially make that bottom wick. So that bottom wick will be the pullback we are looking for, and then at that point we can really take it back up, because gold has really not done much of anything today, has it? It's only moved about 100 pips, and we do understand one thing, that gold likes to move about 200 pips in one direction. We are really bullish, and so if we are forming higher highs and higher lows, I would really not look for those corrections just yet, because the price action is really clean to the left. Even looking to the left over here, when we was pushing up, there was actually no rejections from this area. There was just a little bit of a pullback from 1868, but as soon as we started to clear 1868, the next area we did tap was 1875, which will be our target, right? This is a really strong area. So this area I'll definitely look to take out my profits, secure positions. And let's say if I was looking for those 1-to-1s and I wasn't able to actually capitalize on a 1-to-1, then I would leave it, because this area here will be really strong. For us to actually like break this, we'll need a lot of momentum will be needed. But before that, we are obviously approaching this area. This is really relevant, this area. We do understand that the pullback is done, the bottom wick has been created. At this point we need to understand we are really bullish on gold as well. So we can most definitely just push up honestly like to 1875. From there start to drop down, because looking at the weekly as well, right, you have that bottom wick, but the upper wick is really tiny, and we are in a massive uptrend. So I would really not like to fight the trend. I think we can get a really nice push to the top side. So that's what I'll be looking to capitalize on today. So how is everyone doing? How are you guys on the YouTube live stream? So you are saying Xauusd is coming. What I'm saying is we'll have to see what price action does around this area, because you guys have to understand, right? Looking at everything, we are really bullish at the moment. We have broken above this resistance area here. Now looking to the left, even on the monthly time frame, the next resistance area is actually all the way up here, which is 1906. But obviously we can't just like aim for the monthly resistance areas in like, you know, intraday time frame. We need to aim for those daily areas. So looking at the daily area now, look, we did actually like try it. This was our first attempt to actually come up to retest these highs, right? But we actually failed. So a lot of sellers actually took control here, forming a new lower high. So this high was above this this high over here, right? So now what we need to do is we need to figure out, okay, cool, are we going to start breaking the highs that we have formed on the daily time frame? That's going to give us a confirmation telling us like, okay, now these were the highs that we actually formed in the daily time frame. We've broken those highs, and so now you're looking to see, okay, what's the next logical area that we can approach? So the next logical area becomes this area, right? So let me just show you guys. Look at that. We have seen two rejections, and this kind of like becomes your third rejection at this point. But look at the way the candles are closing. Every time you're getting those closes, so this close is above the previous close, so you know everything is screaming buys. And so price pretty much, it just seems like it opened, it had to come down, form a nice bottom wick, and at this point now it can start breaking its own highs and potentially start breaking above 1868 to collect liquidity, start collecting some buy orders, and then we can take it to the next resistance level. Next resistance level should be this area here that we are aiming for. We can see numerous rejections, and yeah, give me a second guys, need to drink some water. Yeah, so as I said, look, even though everything looks really clean, everything looks really nice on the weekly time frame as well as the monthly time frame, we are aiming for the intraday trades. We are scalpers, we turn our scalps into pretty much intraday trades, so the most relevant price action for us will be on the daily time frame. So we need to understand, okay, what are we approaching on the daily time frame? Cool. So now looking at the daily candles, we get rejections from 1875. We can see actually did a retest over here as well, so it's quite strong. But until then, I think we got really clean traffic. So if you can start breaking above this, I'll be so happy to actually take a buy position above here, or maybe even see if we start rejecting from here. So if we do start rejecting from there as well, I'll definitely look to execute on a sell position over there. So these are our daily highs. Let me quickly just mark this as our current daily highs. So as soon as we start breaking this, we're forming new daily highs as well. So CDH is just short for current daily highs. So obviously now we do understand that 1867 was our current daily highs. From here we started to form the bottom wick. The bottom wick has been formed. We do understand that we usually get a lot of rejections from here. Potentially price rejects from this area and then it comes all the way to the top side. So that's really, really nice. Gold is looking really good. We have only moved about 100 pips as well. I think we can see really, really nice moves either to the top side or the downside. So let's look at the 4-hour now. Usually when we do push up, okay, rejection here, even looking to the left. So we're looking to see when we usually push up what happens. Okay, so look at that. We will push up to the top side. At this point, look, this became the pullback area. At this point, we actually closed above, and next candle actually just came down to retest this structure, and then from there we had a massive push up. But let's say now when we do drop, we also want to see like how price does react. When we do start dropping, you'll see that price will always start to form lower lows and lower highs, and you will always respect this area over here, right? So if you can start seeing some sort of formation like this as well, we'll be more than happy to capitalize on that. So let's see what happens. At this point, we're about to break the highs, guys. So let's see what happens. I think looking at the daily as well, where do we usually see the rejections from when approaching this area? So the rejections are actually from up there. We don't really see many rejections from this area that we are approaching now. So that's actually really, really good. That gives me like more confirmation to capitalize on a buy position over here, because the sells actually do usually play out from 1875. So we do understand that a lot of sellers are sitting up there, and this area usually becomes your pullback area, right? Because looking at the current price action as well, it just seems like very nice pullbacks. Look at that, formed a new high. Because it was so explosive, the candle, it was really massive candle, right? This is not your average candle. This candle moved about 500 pips. So at this point now, some correction was expected. So this became your pullback correction, corrected 50% of the candle, because the next candle pushed down about 250 pips, and then the next one also obviously corrected. And this time now again, look at the pullback. This became your pullback. It did not reject, and every time we got a close, look at that, this close was all the way down here at 1847. Next close was up here at 1861. Again, the next close was at 1865. So now most logical thing is this candle will close above as well, right? But let's see if we can start breaking to the top side, start grabbing this liquidity, start turning this area into support area. At that point we can aim for 1875. I think we can really execute on something like this. It will be really nice. So let's go down to the lower time frames, see what we are looking for. Wow, look at this candle, pushed all the way to the top side. Can we see something on the lower time frames? what sort of structure can we see when we do usually push up? Okay, so this becomes your resistance level here. Usually price does pull back to this area, and then from there you get really nice explosive push to the top side. Let's see if we can quickly just mark this area up, but I'm going to change the color. So we're starting to break to the highs as well. Let's see if we can find a pullback area over here though, because our session still starts in 13 minutes, guys. So I'm really just waiting for my session, but this is great, right? So now at this point, price is starting to look really nice, really nice. So now we can expect pretty much, yeah, expect pullbacks anywhere here. So if we can see a nice pullback, a nice bottom wick down to this level, at that point, a massive rejection, we can take it back up. Now you would want to see higher highs and higher lows being formed above this area as well. At that point, next area is 1875. That's what I'm targeting for. But again, because my session has not started, I was not able to capitalize on this move over here. Otherwise, if this was my session, I would have taken this trade because the range was really nice. But it's all about being disciplined. I'm only taking one trade, and so why not? Why not? So look at this now. Wow, really nice, really nice. Okay, look at that. At this point now, we have formed a new high. Look at that. Even on the daily time frame, as well as the lower time frames, obviously. So now we need to just start looking for the structure. We want to see some sort of structure being formed. Look at this area here. Obviously, we did look to the left on the 30 minutes. We understand that obviously price does come down to this area, and then from there you got really massive candle to the top side. And look at that. This is exactly the area we retested. So that's just so amazing, right? So something like this, if we can see that during our session, we can definitely take it back up. Otherwise, honestly, we can even see the sales playing out, right? So now where are the structural lows? We need to understand that as well. Let's look at the 4 hour. Where can we see the sales playing out from? So usually we actually get rejections from this area here, right? And when we do reject, this usually becomes a really massive rejection area. Really massive rejection area. So the support level is actually all the way down here. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So at this point, the best thing is that we do have formed new highs on the minute time frame as well, so we can really start playing, because before that we had no structure above this. So now at this point now, this becomes our structure. So when we get our open, either we're going to see the sales playing out or we're going to see the buyers playing out. So this is amazing. So because at this point we have the structure. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So guys, make sure you drop a like on the YouTube live stream. Our session literally starts in the next 11 minutes. You guys will see us taking the trades on the live stream. We'll be showing our MetaTrader 5 as well, but do drop a like on the YouTube live stream, and yeah, that'll be amazing. Let me just quickly start putting some risk on my magic keys. So we're going to obviously go in with standard risk, which is 1%, right? Is a Monday, we don't want to go in with too much risk. 1% to start the day with, and let's see how it goes, slowly but surely. Let's just see magic keys is up and running. Look at these sales playing out as well. See, so now at this point now, this is either going to become a really nice rejection area, or this is going to start becoming your rejection area from the top side, or this becomes your pullback. So let's see. See, that's the best thing, right? At this point now, you have structure, so we can actually play based off the structure. So when we get our session opening, we can either capitalize on the buyers or the sells. That's the best thing about this. It's amazing. Okay, I think magic keys are ready. Oh, sorry guys, my headphones were not connected. If someone said something, my bad, but my headphones were not connected. Just realized now. Okay, look at this now, starting to drop nicely. Amazing stuff. Okay guys, look at this now, right? Let's go back to the candles. Let's look at each candle. Look at the hourly just rejecting. And so now looking at this hourly candle, right? Look at this. We got a really nice push all the way down to this level. We have liquidity at this point now. And so now we need to understand, look, if we start to break below the hourly lows, which is right here, what are we doing? the next wick becomes our destination. As soon as we start breaking below this, this becomes a destination. Until then, this just becomes a pullback. So at this point, if you see like a massive engulfing candle being printed over here, this becomes your pullback, and this becomes your double bottom up down here, right? Look at this. As long as we respect the hourly lows, I think we are still good to go up. But again, we do understand how sustainable price action works, and it needs to be corrected if we had such a massive move up. So this is kind of like becoming a correction, and if this candle can start engulfing everything to the left at this point now, we still haven't violated the structural lows, which are all the way down here. Because look at this, right? This was your resistance level. This is kind of like just a pullback down to your resistance level. If I just mark this now, let's see if 1 minute time frame we came all the way down to this level. Look at that. See that, right? This just becomes a really nice pullback at this point, forming a double bottom here as well. So if this was again my session, I would just take a trade right here. But again, it's not my session, so I'm going to have patience. But guys, I think gold is forming up like really nicely. It's like setting up really nicely for us to take it all the way to the top side, honestly. Look, we've violated the current daily highs as well. We actually have formed new current daily highs at this point now. Obviously the move to the top side has been corrected. Really nice correction, forming a double bottom here, and I think we can go all the way to the top side now, retesting the highs at that point. We just have 7 minutes left as well. At that point, obviously, when we do retest this, we can start forming, if we can start forming higher highs and higher lows above this, next target is 1875. So really nice price action to the top side. Amazing stuff. Let's see if we can start closing above 1868 now with the open approaching as well. That would be amazing. Still in an uptrend. As you guys can see, the uptrend actually started all the way from down here, and this becomes your pullback, forming a double bottom. And look at this. They tell you guys, if it was my session, would have taken a trade right here. Stop loss would have been 18 pips. This would have been the 1-to-1 actually hit. This would have been a winning trade. That's how much confidence I have in this trade. But again, because I'm really disciplined, I'm not willing to do that just yet. That's the thing, right? And I'm going to clean my charts a little bit more. I'll keep the key area, which is all the way up there. I'm going to just start removing everything else because I don't want everything on the charts. Just want clean charts. And there we go. So we do want to keep this here in our mind. This area over here is relevant because the hourly lows are actually just below this, and this is your hourly resistance right here, as we can see. And we've just done a retest, so I'm also going to just put the text here. So this becomes our pullback at this point now to potentially go back to retest the highs. And we should now at this point, look, again, I do want to mark the current hourly lows as well, because we have no business breaking the hourly lows, right? If we do start breaking below the hourly lows, again, the next destination becomes the previous wick, which is all the way down there. And stop loss 24 pips. Yeah, it would give us a nice 1-to-1 to the downside as well, because we do understand this becomes a rejection area as well. And I'll just mark the current hourly lows as well. Otherwise, two things can play out now. When we do get the open, either we're going to obviously start forming higher highs above this to take it all the way back up, or we're going to start breaking to the downside, and then at that point sells below this area here and buys above there. Because look at this as well, right? When we do start turning this area into resistance, we get really nice moves to the downside. Look at this. Same sort of rejection. Next one actually retested this structure here, and then from there we just dumped all the way to the downside. Because we are quite bullish on gold, we do want to give it a little bit more room to breathe, and then obviously pull back and whatnot because of corrections and sustainable price action. But if it does want to push down, start forming lower lows and lower highs below there, I have no problem taking it down. No problem whatsoever. Look at that. Again, from here, really nice push to the downside. Really nice push to the downside. Definitely want to mark this as well. And if we start seeing something like this being formed, I'll be more than happy to take it down. Got another 4 minutes left, guys, before our session starts. So we have 28 people watching. Make sure you guys do drop a like on the YouTube live stream, as we will be showing you our MetaTrader 5 as soon as the trades have been taken. And we are giving you our analysis as well. Everything is for free. All we do ask in return is that you drop a like on the YouTube live stream, as that does help with the algorithm. And this time my camera is not stuck either. So let me know, guys, if the camera is stuck. But yeah, gold looks really, really great today. Honestly, I'm really happy. As I said, everything is aligning together. That's what trading is about, right? Top-down analysis. We are really, really bullish. But that's the best thing about our strategy. If it's on an uptrend, guess what? We can just capitalize on that. If it's rejecting, we can also capitalize on that, because this is here, right? You'll need two different strategies, either one for like break of structure or one for like rejection. Our strategy includes everything. At this point, if this becomes BOS, break of structure, that's the first question we're asking. Guess what? We're taking it to the top side. That's the first question we're asking. BOS, break of structure, or does this become a rejection? If this becomes a rejection, we're taking it down. It is so simple. Look at the hourly resistance as well. Obviously, as soon as we do start breaking and closing below this hourly resistance, start breaking the... Look, you got two confirmations at this point, right? If we can start turning this hourly resistance into some sort of resistance when we do get our open, and then obviously at that point start breaking these hourly lows, that's two confirmations to take gold down. And you're also getting another rejection all the way from here. So that's three massive confirmations to the downside. So I'll be really happy to even take it down. But until then, we are quite bullish on gold. So let's see what happens. We got another 2 minutes left, guys. And then hopefully in the next 2 minutes, we can start looking to take our trades. But so far, gold looks really, really good. Really, really good. Let's see if this hourly can also close above this as well. That'll be a really, really strong confirmation. And then at that point, next one can just pretty much come down, retest this area over here, potentially like 1867. From there, start seeing some sort of rejections, higher highs and higher lows being formed in the lower time frame to basically take it all the way to the top side. That's what I like to see. I don't like to look at the 30-minute time frame anymore. It's just too noisy. I think hourly is way more relevant. But we can also look at the 30 minutes as well. Again, pretty much the same thing, right? You're forming higher highs and higher lows. One thing though, where do we have liquidity in the market? Because let's see what London done. So London has pretty much it's just been really nice moves to the top side. We have been forming higher highs and higher lows. So the liquidity is actually here now. So in London, we actually did not collect any sort of liquidity, it seems like, but now we have collected a lot of liquidity, and we do understand that a lot of sellers as well as the buyers are sitting here. So now we just need to see who's in control and how can we figure that out? Well, waiting for our confirmations, just having patience. And honestly, like, we don't want to try and be the big shark in the markets. We want to ride with the big shark. So as soon as, like, you gotta understand, where are those, like, you know, where's the big fish sitting? Like, they're sitting up here, these levels here, area of interest, right? So now if price comes up to this level, you see, like, obviously they want to drive price up. We're just gonna ride it. We're just gonna ride the wave. We're not trying to create the wave. We can't do that. We're retail traders. We're not even trading in, you know, like millions. Like, market volume every day is like in trillions. So we can't really compete. We just have to accept what the market wants to do and then just take it, right? And look at this now. This is our open at this point. Look, again, two areas we are looking out for. The 1 hour resistance area here. We don't have our upper wick at the moment on the 30 minutes, but again, I'm not really fussy. I don't care about the upper wick because this can become a really, really strong rejection area, right? Because it is on a daily time frame. Looking at the daily time frame as well right now, everything looks really nice. So let's see what happens. Honestly, let's see what happens. Honestly, how the next minute candle closes as well, and I might execute on a buy position all the way to the top side, all the way to the top side. Because the way this current candle is starting to reject, it looks really, really good, really, really good. And potentially at this point, look, we do have a range as well on the minute time frame. If we can kind of like start closing above this range, engulf everything to the left, this could be a really nice setup. Look, the 30 minutes got to create the upper wick as well. This is when you have a lot of volatility in the market. Everything is suggesting that we are in an uptrend. This didn't reject. It actually did not close below the resistance area either. So now I'm just expecting some sort of strong pullbacks. And then at that point, as long as we don't violate the lows, I think we should be good to go. But again, look, we have a resistance level here. If we start chilling below this area here, start chilling down here. Let me just draw this as well. Now, let's say if we start to obviously form some sort of lower lows and lower highs like this, we can capitalize on those sells. obviously price will go down from here, right? Until then, it's just bias. We're just looking for bias. Unless something like this plays out. This scenario here will be for sales. This is something we'll look out for. Until then, this just becomes your bottom wick. Looking to the left, what are we tapping into? We're tapping into this area here. Strong resistance area, as we can see. So obviously, if there's a resistance area, it can be turned into a support area. If there are sell orders there, they can also be buy orders there. Look at that, another rejection there. We have two rejections here, so we do understand that it is some sort of area of significance. Usually price does reject off of this area, so if we do not reject off of this area to the downside, at that point obviously the next logical thing is that we'll go down. But we want to be extra careful, super careful. I will not look for sells unless we actually start to violate the laws of the previous candle. At that point I'll be a happy man, because we have a really nice range on the daily time frame as well. Look at the whole range. Really nice range, and we're literally at all-time highs at the moment. Even if we start, obviously, even if we wait for this entry, right, and we take an entry from the current hourly lows, we still have like 62 pips to the downside, and the daily candle has moved about 140 pips altogether. So we have a lot of range, really nice range. We do understand gold moves about 200 pips in one direction, so should be really good. Let's go back to the 30 minutes again, see what, okay, let's see what we can find out. So again, right now we're just chilling. At this point now, this is kind of like your attempt to form our upper wick, but price is failing to form our upper wick at the moment. So yeah, if we do start breaking below this bottom wick that we have formed, the next area obviously becomes the 1 hour resistance, and then from there, if we start forming higher highs, that would be amazing. Great to take it back up. So now we just have to wait and let the volatility do its thing. I'm looking at my minute time frame on the MetaTrader 5. So yeah, I would not miss out on anything. Because look, we haven't closed above this, and we do understand that this becomes a really strong rejection area, because I did see another thing as well. If we actually look to the left, right, let me show you guys another thing as well, why I'm being extra careful here. Let me just change the color to, actually, yeah, white color is fine. We do usually approach this area, and then from there we do get rejections as well. Look at that, you see that, right? Very strong rejection over here, another strong rejection over here as well, and look at that. See, that's why I'm being extra careful, because we have approached this area now. That's amazing. So now at this point, when we do see signals to the top side, at that point you're expecting this area to break. But right now we're trying to figure out if this is a rejection or a pullback. And yeah, we just have to wait for our confirmations, because we're looking to capitalize on one trade and one trade only. Look at that, we're starting to form new lows at this point now on the 30 minutes as well. So yeah, just have to wait and see what happens. Looking at the minute time frame at this point, we have formed a range. This is the top side of the range, and this is the bottom side of the range. But I don't want to focus on the minute time frame just yet. I'm still looking at the hourly. Looking at the hourly, we are still pretty much just pulling back, right? Because the hourly lows are all the way down there. So unless we start to actually like violate these hourly lows, this just becomes your pullback. So this whole hourly candle just becomes your pullback. So, but if we do start to violate these laws, because you got to understand, right? You got to ask these questions. What business does price have actually like violating the hourly laws? The only business it has coming down to retest this is to collect more buy orders to potentially go up to the highest, right? But if we start violating this again, the next wick becomes the destination. It's so simple. So if we do start violating these laws, at that point I'm looking to capitalize on those sells as well. We can potentially go up to the next wick, and obviously like these highs over here, the hourly resistance will become our stop loss, and then this can be our 1-to-1 achieved. And yeah, at that point, if it does want to reject from here, at least we've secured our 1-to-1. We just have to wait for those confirmations though. As soon as we see momentum kick in, we'll just execute. Again, looking at the 30 minutes, it's still just struggling. It's not really done much of anything, so yeah, let's see. But look, at this point now, we've attempted to break down numerous times as well. So if we do see some sort of massive candle to the top side, even that could be really amazing, right? That could be really amazing, kind of like breaking out of the range. Make sure you guys do drop a like on the YouTube live stream though, because when we do take a trade, we'll let you know, and we'll show you our MetaTrader 5 as well. We're all about transparency, but make sure you guys do drop a like. There we go, starting to push down a bit more now. This is amazing. Again, look at the structure lows. The structure lows are actually all the way down there, but we are not going to wait for the structure lows to be violated. We just need to wait for these confirmations. Start forming this area as a resistance and potentially start breaking below the lows of the candle. At that point, we can execute with confidence. Until then, we just have to wait, have to wait. This is just the open. It is most probably just kind of like forming a bottom wick, right? And yeah, but this is a really strong area as well, as you guys can see, right? Usually price does come down to this area, and then from there you get really massive push up. So we can potentially see something like this being formed, and then we can catch the buys from all-time lows. And look at this clean range. This becomes your clean range at this point on the intraday time frame, because this is your daily highs at this point as well. So this becomes a really clean range. So let's see if we can start breaking out of the range, start forming higher highs and higher lows over here, seeing momentum to the top side. At that point, we can capitalize on a buy position. That would be amazing. But I would like to see some sort of nice break of structure up here as well, because we do understand a lot of sellers are sitting up here. Looking at the hourly candle again, let's see what's happening. It's just coming down, honestly. Just coming down pretty much. It's just a waiting game at this point, guys. Gotta have patience. Gotta sit on our hands and just wait for our setup to show up, because we're looking to like capitalize on one trade, risking about 1 to 2% per trade, right? So we don't want to just jump in on anything that market shows us. Like I could honestly just jump on a sell position right now, saying like, look, it's forming lower lows, lower highs. We're rejecting from a really strong area, but no, I'm gonna wait for those extra bit of confirmations. So I'm just gonna wait for the probability to be on my side, because I could also say like, look, how many times have we attempted to form a bottom wick now? Obviously like so many times, right? I mean upper wick, my bad, not bottom wick, and we're still just forming lower lows and lower highs. And this is when you have momentum in the session and price is clearly going down. So let me take a sell. I can do that as well, but it just doesn't make sense. Imagine if you do that, you literally just have the structure lows right here. You can just start rejecting from here. Look, we rejected twice from here. So just not a big fan of that. I would like to see this area being turned into a resistance, stop breaking below the hourly lows. At that point, I'll be a really big fan of those sells. Look at this hourly now starting to reject as well. Are we going to start forming lower lows and lower highs below these hourly lows? Let's find out. At that point, sells look amazing. We're starting to approach the hourly lows at this point, guys. The hourly lows are literally all the way down there. Two things can happen. Either this will become a massive rejection to collect more buy orders and also become a pullback, or this will become your rejection for sales. Okay, this candle here is starting to reject really nicely now to the top side. Ooh, I like this. I honestly like this. I might be looking to capitalize on a buy position soon. Let's see how this candle moves though. Like, let's see. Or otherwise, either this will become a rejection to the downside or to the top side, because I am still looking for those pullbacks as well. So either way, I'll look to take it. Being really fluid in the market. Previous minute candle has done a pullback up to this resistance now. So if we start breaking to the downside, I think sells do really look good, guys. Really do look good. Let's see though. Let's see. Have to wait. Ooh, this is starting to look nice now at this point. Let's see how this current candle closes. And then if the next one starts breaking the lows, I'm in these sells, honestly. This is starting to look really great at this point now. Let's see how the next candle opens. If we can make a upper wick, at that point I'm taking it to the downside. I want to see if I can get like a 20 pip stop loss. That'll be amazing. So now if the next one breaks the lows, we can most definitely take it down, right? Until then, just have to wait, because it can still just become a pullback. So I want to be super careful. Super careful. But at this point, look at the minute time frame as well. Again, this area here has been turned into a resistance. If you start breaking below this, why not? We can take it down, right? Everything looks good. But until then, this can just become your pullback area, because look at the 4 hour as well. The 4 hour lows are all the way down there. Even though we have violated the structure lows, over here we want to see, are there more buy orders being executed or are there more sell orders being executed? If there are more sell orders being executed, I don't mind taking it down, honestly. But if there are buy orders being executed, hey, we see a massive engulfing bullish candle, I'll look to take it back up as well. I just want to see now. I want to see another candle, some sort of like undecisive candle, and then the next one starts breaking the lows and engulfing everything to the left. And then if this becomes the undecisive candle, it becomes a pullback candle, right? And I can put my stop loss above that because I want a 20 pip stop loss. I don't want a big stop loss. I want a 20 pip stop loss. So there we go. Now, is this candle going to start breaking to the downside? That's the question you have to ask. And then the top side of the range can really just become our stop loss, right? But let's see what happens. We need to see what orders are being collected here. Are the buyers more dominant or are the sellers more dominant over here? So either we'll have a pullback, or if we start forming higher highs, higher lows above this, I'm taking it all the way to the top side. But that's why I've not taken any positions just yet. We're waiting for those extra bit of confirmations. We do understand that obviously the hourly is still bullish. We have violated the hourly lows just to collect some more orders, but it wasn't something where we started to form lower lows and lower lows and lower highs below the hourly lows. You can understand that as well. We just came down, kind of like wicking everyone out whoever had a buy order here, and that's just part of the game, right? That's price action for you. So even from here, buyers can be really nice, really nice. But this one, you just got to understand, where did those sells play out from? Those sells actually started to play out from here. So if you can start forming higher highs, higher lows above this, that's more confirmation to the top side. So let's see if we can see that. Or are we going to see another nice pullback to the downside? Because look at this pullback area, support area from here had a really nice drop. And so let's see, if are we going to start violating that, start pushing to the top side, or are we going to see another massive bearish candle? Just have to wait for that now. That would be our confirmation, either to the top side or the downside. We got another 2 minutes as well. With the next 2 minutes, okay, this is starting to look amazing to the top side now. Honestly, really do like it. Really do like it. If we start forming higher highs, higher lows above this, I'll be looking to take this up, guys. Honestly, I really do like it. We're just approaching the top side of the range as well, and this can potentially just become our pullback at this point, right? Really nice pullback. And at this point, you're expecting the support to be respected. Let's see. Let's see how the next candle opens. Might be looking to execute on a buyer position here now. If you start turning this into a support area, start breaking those highs, at that point, buyers look good. Until then, I'm still waiting, because this area over here, look at that. This is where you have a lot of sellers sitting. So you want to be super careful, right? This is what we usually retest. But if you can start breaking to the top side now, it will be amazing. Got another minute left. Hopefully we can form that bottom wick and then just start pushing up to the top side. I want to put my stop loss below the bottom wick and take it to the top side. So I'm just waiting to see the formation of the bottom wick in the next minute. But before the next minute, I'm not looking to execute on anything. So maybe a bottom wick down to this level, 1864. And then from there, take it back up. Let's see. Just have to sit on our hands. Have patience. Okay, another 10 seconds left before the next 15-minute open is here. And so we just have to wait for that now. Obviously starting to, if you can start forming higher highs, higher lows above here, there we go. This is the new 15-minute open at this point. I want to see a bottom wick formation down to this level, rejection from here, start breaking those highs. I'm in this trade. But I want to see momentum as well, right? I want to see momentum as well. I don't want to see just some slow break to the top side. Because we do understand that this can obviously become a rejection area as well. But so far, it's looking really good, to be honest. Like, we haven't really seen much selling momentum over here. But if we do start seeing momentum to the downside here as well, this was one of our scenarios. So we can also execute on a sell position as well. So we're actually like in the best place now to either execute on a sell position or a buy position. Just have to wait. And see. This is potentially your bottom wick being formed at this point now, we understand. But if we do start breaking below this, that's our confirmation to the downside again now. This again now becomes your pullback. Stop loss is above that, so let's see what happens. But until we actually violate this, those don't make sense, right? This was your 4-hour lows over here. This is where you have a lot of orders being collected. But if you see engulfing bullish candle, I'm in this trade to the top side, honestly. Fingers on the trigger. Fingers on the trigger now, guys. Just waiting for the engulfing bullish candle at this point. And I'm going to look to take it back up. or down from this area here. If we can start turning this area into resistance, start breaking lows, I'll take it down as well. Let's go. This 15-minute candle should be a rocket ship all the way to the top side. Can we see that happening? Can we start exploding to the top side at this point? I just want to see some momentum kick into this candle and I'll execute on a buy position. Like just push up like 5-6 pips straight away. Because right now the way it's moving is just like struggling to go up, right? So there is not much momentum in this candle. But if I can see like momentum kicking in, just like explosive push to the top side, I'll execute on a buy position right now. Because the confirmations are there, this becomes your pullback. But right now I'm just not seeing it. So I'm still going to wait for it. Still going to wait for it. Make sure everyone drops a like on the YouTube live stream. As soon as I'm in a buy position, I'll show you guys my MetaTrader 5. And look at this. This candle starting to get some more momentum kick in. Can we explode to the top side all the way from 1865.05 straight up to 1865.80? At that point, it will show us that it has a lot of momentum and we can execute on a buy position. Until then, we just have to sit on our hands and wait for this setup to show up. But over here, we can capitalize on sells as well as buys. So anything, whatever shows up first, we'll take it. We are being fluid in the market, but this is that area where the sells can play out from as well. So this is also when you have a lot of volatility in the market. So either way, we can take it. That's the best thing about this strategy. We are really fluid. Okay, so the next logical thing is obviously the next 5 minute can give us that momentum kick. Look at this 5 minute as well. There is literally just no upper wick. And this becomes your 5 minute lows at this point now. So honestly, I think we're going to look at this previous 5 minutes as well. Look at this rejection. Like, what amazing rejection, right? Yeah, I'm just waiting for that one massive engulfing bullish candle to take it all the way to the top side, honestly. Because sells become really, really tricky. I wanna capitalize on a buy position here, aiming for these highs, obviously. That would give us our 1-to-1 really, really easily. And then obviously from there, we know the next resistance level is actually all the way up here. So if we can capitalize on a buy position from here, we can really easily see 100 pips to the top side. 100 pips easily to the top side. But we just have to wait for momentum to kick in. I don't want to take a position unless I see momentum kick in. That's why I'm focused on the minute chart right now. Look at the 30 minutes as well. Rejecting, if we start turning this support area into some sort of like support area on the minute time frame and get a massive engulfing bullish candle on lower time frames, we can definitely take it back up. Most definitely. Either that, or again, we do have one of our scenarios here that this turns into a resistance and you see engulfing bearish candle to take it down. But right now, really, really biased. My bias is like really bullish. But again, being fluid in the market, we're going to wait for those confirmations. Just have to wait. Right now, look at the way the candles are moving, guys. See? Can you see anything right now in the candle? So the candles are really undecisive right now. You wanna wait for those extra bit of confirmations. You will see that. Like you'll see momentum kick in either to the top side or the downside. As soon as we see the momentum kick in, we can execute. Until then, it doesn't make sense to take a trade just yet because we are scalpers, we are momentum traders. We need the momentum to kick in. If the momentum does not kick in, the probability of us winning that trade goes down. But if the momentum is there or the confirmations are there, the probability should be on our side. Honestly, the trade can have 90% chance of winning, and then the runners can be crazy. Again, looking at the minute candles, really, really tiny candles being printed out right now. I don't see anything that is engulfing structure to the left, so we are still just sitting on our hands. But again, you're forming higher highs and higher lows. Okay, look at this candle now. It might be the rocket ship candle all the way to the top side. It might just be it, guys. It might just be it. Can we stop breaking to the top side? Stop breaking the range. Can we do that? Okay, seems like this candle is starting to pick some momentum. That's amazing. Okay, I think volatility might be coming into the market because this is your new 5 minute open as well. Look at the previous candle, undecisive candle. Okay, let's see now. I want to see some more momentum kick in. Let's go. It's still just struggling a little bit. I want to see a really, really massive engulfing bullish candle. Because right now it's still just struggling. It might just go to the top side of the range and then from there start rejecting. I want to see a nice engulfing bullish candle with momentum in it. Like a 10 pip minute candle. Even the 5 minute candle has only moved about 14 pips just yet. How much has the minute candle moved? It must have moved about 10 pips, right? But I want to see something like above here, so another 10 pips to the top side. At that point, it'll give me my 20 pip stop loss just below the previous minute candle, and I'll take it to the top side. But right now, you can very easily just start rejecting. So until I actually see like crazy amount of volatility kick in, I'm not going to execute, because you got to understand this is gold. Gold is a really, really volatile pair. And if you don't have volatility kicking into the top side, at that point, potentially volatility will be to the downside, right? So we just need to wait for that. Again, I would not be looking for any setups in the next, if I don't mind taking a trade, but again, if it's like, let's say 155 and then you know the new 4 hour is approaching in the next 5 minutes, at that point I'll sit on my hands, wait for the new 4 hour to form that bottom wick. But until then, we do have another 3 minutes to execute on a trade. But let's say now, if it's just like literally 3-4 minutes left before the new 4 hour opens, I'm not looking to execute on a trade, because the new 4 hour open can really easily wick us out. But we do understand that usually our setups do show up as soon as the new 4 hour opens as well, because that's when you see more volatility kick in. Because right now I don't see any volatility, and I don't want to execute unless I see that. That's what being a professional trader is about, guys. You just execute on what you like. You don't let your emotions dictate that for you. You let your confluences, your confirmations dictate that. Okay, now the confirmations are there, just execute. So that's what trading is about. So we just have to wait, sit on our hands. 0 trades taken so far. But yeah, as soon as we take a trade, you guys will see. Just sell and wait. Someone said just sell and wait. No way. Why would I sell here? Look at your hourly candle. Why would I sell here? You're making new higher highs and higher lows. You've grabbed liquidity above here as well. Sell orders were executed, so at this point potentially becomes a pullback, right? Unless you start breaking this and start forming lower lows, lower highs below this, doesn't make sense to take sells. I'm looking for buys from here, to be honest. But if the momentum doesn't kick in now, obviously the momentum will kick in when the next 4 hour approaches. And yeah, at that point, honestly, what we're gonna see is like a massive bottom wick, and then after that, massive rejection to the top side. Just like do one thing, guys. Go on your minute time frame, obviously not on TradingView, right? Go on your MetaTrader 5 and just look at the way the minute candles moving. It's just like so slow. You want to see volatility, you want to see massive rejections, like 10 pips in a second, 10 pips in 2 seconds, something like that. Like you want to see volatility stops, price starts moving crazy. At that point, you can execute. Until then, it's just ranging, and you don't want to trade ranging markets. Doesn't make sense. Guys, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. So now I'm not looking to execute on any setup until we see the new 4 hour open, because we can really easily get wicked out. So if you are looking to take a trade, this is not financial advice, but I would recommend that you wait for the next 4 hour to open, because the next 4 hour needs to create an upper wick as well as a bottom wick, and then it can even give you a better entry. Patience pays, and I'll be right back in 2 minutes. Okay, so we got another 3 minutes left for the new 4-hour open, and so yeah, another 3 minutes left. Hopefully in the next 3 minutes we can see our buys playing out, or even the sells. But until then, guys, look, what we have done so far by not being impulsive is that we have avoided this whole range, and we're waiting for those clean moves. And so now you understand, when can the clean move kick in the next 3 minutes. Hopefully with the new 4-hour open we can see a lot of volatility kick in and then hopefully take it back up. So when our session opened, look at that, this is when our session opened, right? If I just quickly show you guys, this is the highs that we have formed for our session, literally right here, 130. So this is like the open right here. So these are the highs that we have formed. So now so far, look what we have done. We have literally just done this thing here, and we're literally just starting to retrace the whole move to the top side. So another 2 minutes left. If we start forming higher highs, higher lows above here now, I think we'll come in all the way back up to correct this move and kind of like form new highs, right? But again, we have formed a new low for our session as well. So now need to play a game of probability. Are we going to start violating the lows of our session, or are we going to start violating the highs? That's the best thing about waiting. We have structure to play off. Either we're going to break to the downside or we're going to break to the top side. Really simple, right? And I'm going to change the color to yellow because this becomes really essential, right? This becomes important at this point now. And obviously we want to keep this here as well, forming lower lows, lower highs. And these are structure lows right here as well. So again, becomes really essential. And look, we're starting to drop again to the downside of the range. We still haven't violated the structure lows. We can see usually price comes up to this level, and then from there you see a really explosive move to the top side. Really explosive move. So now another minute left for the new 4-hour open. Let's see what the 4-hour open can do. So now look, two things we are looking for. Either we're looking for this area here to get turned into some sort of resistance, just like how price did it here, right? Look at that pullback, massive engulfing bearish candle to take it back down, or we're looking for this area to become a massive rejection area to the top side. Either way, we're going to take it. But this area becomes really crucial. This area right here, really crucial. Look at your 4-hour. 4-hour is still bullish. It hasn't rejected just yet. We are below this resistance though, so if we start forming a support above this resistance, the target is all the way up there, right? Because there we go, the new 4-hour open. We have a bottom wick at this point now on the 4-hour. Let's look at the 30-minute candle. We have a bottom wick. Are we going to start rejecting from here, from the resistance level, or are we going to start forming higher highs and higher lows? Let's see what happens at this point now. Either way, I'm looking to take it now because we should get volatility kick in. If I see an engulfing bullish candle starting to break out of the range as well, I'll be a happy man. I would like to see some sort of bigger bottom wick though, because the bottom wick is really tiny on the 30-minute time frame, and we are tapping into this hourly resistance, so potentially we can form that bottom wick. But again, want to be super safe with the open. Would like to see some sort of rejection off of this area. So from here, I want to see either a rejection or break, pullback, and then I'll take it. I'm not going to take an impulsive entry either. I want to see a break, pullback, and then I'll take it. Because a lot of buy orders are here. Impulsive entries are no good. You have your support area down there as well. Really risky. Really risky. Because let's say if you were to take a break, you can just reject in like literally the next 9 pips, and really hard. More interested in a buy position here. Again, second attempt to form a bottom wick. Price is still failing to form a bottom wick. Are we going to start breaking to the top side now? We are still within this range. Top side of the range is your hourly resistance. Bottom side of the range is your lows. Really simple. Have to wait for either to break. If it breaks to the top side, you're going to see more sell orders or more buy orders being executed, and we're going to ride the wave. Either way it goes. Really simple. Just need to have patience. Really simple. But we should really see our setup playing out now. Hopefully this 5-minute candle needs to do what it needs to do, create the bottom wick or the upper wick, and then hopefully the next 5-minute candle can give us that move, or even this candle, honestly, because we have been ranging. So as soon as you guys do understand another thing, as soon as you do break out of the range, you'll see a massive move because you're grabbing a lot of liquidity. So when that aligns with a really volatile session, guess what? You see even bigger moves, right? That's the best thing about it. So now the bottom wick is really tiny on the 30 minutes. So if it does push down a little bit to this level, sells honestly below this, they look good. Sells make sense below this because at that point you're like, okay, look, it's starting to break this for the second time now. We're forming lower lows, lower highs. It's a volatile session. We're rejecting from a really massive area. At that point, look, you're like, okay, cool. Next area is the structure lows. That's the next destination, and then potentially from there we can just like make our trades risk free, right? The structure lows, if we start breaking the structure lows, you know, the previous structure lows are actually all the way down here, and then sells do make sense as well, but we have to just wait and see what happens now. If this one, our resistance holds as a resistance, we start forming lower lows, lower highs, start breaking the lows, we can take it down as well. Until then, just go wait. We still are within this range. This becomes our range. So from here, we can take it either way. But again, I would want to see a nice close below, a retest, and then take it back up. Okay, there we go. So look at that. From here, we usually do reject really massively. See this candle here? Really massive rejection from here usually. So do want to keep that in our mind. Really massive rejection. If we start holding, if this area starts holding, it'll be amazing. So your hourly lows were here as well, previous hourly lows at this point now. These became your, so two things will happen. Either we'll retest this and start forming higher highs, higher lows, because at this point, look, what business does price have breaking the upper wick as well? So now if we start breaking the upper wick on the 30 minutes as well, that's, again, I might be looking to take a buy position and keeping my stop loss below this structure lows, right, which is the 30-minute lows. That's the best thing about it. From here, we can take it either way. We just need some volatility to kick in. As I said, the first 5 minute will just form a bottom wick as well as an upper wick, and then the next 5 minute can give us the move, hopefully either to the top side or the downside. We just have to wait for another minute, and the next minute should bring a lot of volatility into the markets and give us that move. Look at this candle. It actually closed with a bit of a rejection from the downside. It did not engulf anything to the left. It just becomes a pullback candle, and then potentially expecting the next candle to form higher highs and higher lows and potentially go up to the resistance area. The resistance area is all the way up there, right? And you're in an uptrend, really bullish. Everything is screaming buys. So that's why I'm being extra careful for those sells. Super careful. Because you have liquidity below the structure, potentially could be a liquidity grab to go up. So that's why I want to see a break, retest, and then take it down. Otherwise, this is just a signal to the top side. It's a buy signal. Okay, this is the new 5 minute open now. Can we see some volatility to the top side? Massive engulfing bullish candle. Can we see that? Okay, let's see now. It might just be it. Can we see explosive candle? Something that just explodes to the top side. Let's see. Look, if it breaks these highs, what business does it have breaking these highs after forming a upper wick and rejecting from the hourly resistance? If it breaks these highs, most probably we're going up. It's so simple, right? We have formed highs on 30 minutes. We're forming lower lows. If it breaks the previous 30-minute lows at that point, we're just waiting for a pullback, retest, and then another engulfing bearish candle to take it down. It's so simple. Just have to wait. Patience is the key. We're still within this range. Let me show you guys. We're still within this range, but most probably we're going to end up breaking the range now, right? This is your new 4-hour open. So let's see what happens. We're just waiting for a nice engulfing candle, which shows us that, look, there is volatility in the market now. Take your positions. Until then, markets are telling us that, look, right now, we're ranging, potentially forming wicks, you know, just waiting to retest a key area to reject off of. And so something like this, when you're in these market conditions, you want to stay out. Just have patience. Otherwise, you take losing trades. Look at us. We've taken 0 trades. We're still waiting for our setup. Our session has literally just started half an hour ago. And we know this is when the volatility starts to kick in. So we have not missed out on anything. So no one should have FOMO. NYSE, it has not even approached yet. That's when you get so much volume kicking in. NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, which is in the next 24 minutes. Again, coming back to the downside of the range, looking at the 15 minutes, it's broken the lows of the previous 15 minute, but again, the rejection area is all the way down there. So I want to be super careful. It might just be stopping some buyers out to potentially go back up, doing a deeper retest, because this is a volatile session, so it can be making a really big wick. Okay, there we go. At this point, you're rejecting offer for overly. Can we see a nice close below the structure lows, or are we going to start? See, the way candles are printing, it's still just rejecting from the downside. So I want to be super careful for these sells just here. Unless we start seeing a nice engulfing bearish candle now after retesting the highs, start dropping down, start breaking all lows, a nice engulfing bearish close. And the next candle I wanted to come up to retest the resistance, which will be this resistance area here, right? You can see massive rejections from here. And then another engulfing bearish candle to take it down. And then the sells can play out nicely as well, hopefully. Okay, my magic keys are ready at this point. Fingers on the trigger, guys, at this point. Just waiting for some more volatility to kick in. Right now, the way we are printing candles, they are really tiny. I want to see massive candles. We have a lot of range, either to the top side as well as the downside. 30-minute low is literally right there. This is where we got the rejection from. Again, below this, we have the support area. So I would like for price to actually like drop down from here and then see a pullback to take it down. Even pull back up to these this level here, because this is a level of significant, right? There we go, started to break it. Let's see how this candle closes at this point now, and can the next candle come up to retest these lows that we had, so turning this into a resistance, and then another engulfing bearish candle to take it down. Until then, it can still just be a bottom wick down to this support area, so it becomes really tricky. So you want to see a pullback candle, another engulfing candle, giving you those signals like, okay, take it down, because the support area is literally right there. Until we actually violate this structure, we are still in a downtrend. Look at this now, it's starting to look good at this point. Let's see if you can see the pullback all the way to the top side, and then at that point start breaking to the downside again. We are approaching this support area. If we start turning this into a resistance as well, we are really good to go down, guys, good to go down. Until then, just have to wait for the extra bit of confirmation, one more pullback candle, and then take it back down. Because I don't want to wait for so long and then this area turns into that rejection area. So you want to have those patience, because this can just be a pullback. Look at that, the lows are all the way down there. So if you want to be super careful, we have to wait. Oh, look at this engulfing bullish candle though. Ooh, I'm liking the buys now, honestly, guys. I might be taking a buy position here soon if this candle pushes up a little bit more. Ooh, I might be taking a buy position here soon, guys. If I can see a nice engulfing bullish candle at this point, or starting to break all the way to the top side. Ooh, I'm starting to like this, guys. Let's see if the momentum is there. Got a little bit of a pullback from the top side. Let's see how the next candle opens. Ooh, this is a rocket ship. Okay, guys, I think I'm looking to execute a buy position here. If I see another explosive push to the top side, I will be looking to execute a buy position here. I want to see this push up like another 5 pips to the top side. Otherwise, this can still reject. So I want to see another 5 pips to the top side. I wanted to form a bottom wick on the lower time frame, and then a nice engulfing push to the top side. So this candle here, I want to see a push to the top side, another 5 pips, but with volatility. Otherwise, this can become a rejection area. So I wanted to break these highs again. Otherwise, below this, sells can look really good at this point now. Sells can really start playing out. So both can start playing out at this point. So now look, this becomes your pullback candle. Sells below this makes really sense, right? Makes a lot of sense. So let's see, either way, even the buys make sense and the sells make sense. And look at the way it's rejecting at this point now. If we start breaking to the top side, start breaking these highs, I'm in a buy position. Can we start breaking to the top side or the downside? Either way, I think we can take it. Because the volatility is in the market now. The 5 minute just formed a bottom wick. That's why I think we came down. Look at the 5 minute just formed a bottom wick. At this point, look, if it starts breaking to the downside, you're clearly going down. It's really simple. Really simple. You have your pullback at this point now as well. You're turning your overly resistance area into a resistance. And so let's see what happens. I think as soon as we start breaking to the downside, you're going to see a really nice move to the downside. But if we do hold this level, start forming a double bottom here, start breaking these highs again, buys make sense as well. So let's just see what happens. Are we going to see a rejection from the downside to start pushing all the way back up? If we start breaking above here, I'm taking a buy position. Let's see. The volatility is there now. Either way, anything can happen now. Fingers on the trigger, guys, for a buy position now. Fingers on the trigger for a buy position. Fingers on the trigger for a buy position. Stop loss will be just below the lows, 20 pip stop loss. Going to execute on the break of this. I want to see an engulfing bullish candle again. Right now, not enough confirmations for a buy position. I want to see an engulfing bullish candle starting to break to the top side, starting to break all highs. At that point, I'm in this. Because this becomes your pullback at this point. Now we're going to go all the way to the top side of the range to retest highs. Because otherwise, we are holding this area as a resistance area. Either way, now you're going to see either the buy orders are going to take control or the sell orders are. So we're going to see which one is more dominant. Whatever is more dominant, we're going to execute and take it. And just aim for the one-to-ones. The one-to-ones are the first target, obviously. But right now, you want to see if this area holds as a resistance. That means, you know, the sell orders are more dominant. Otherwise, this should become your rejection area. Look at the previous candle, the way it rejected as well. Your volatility, if it starts breaking the highs, we're going all the way to the top side. So yeah, either way, I'm looking to take it. At this point, your volatility. If we can take a buy position here, stop loss maybe below this. And obviously, with the next 3 minutes approaching, with the next 15 minutes, we can keep on taking it back up. Okay, this candle here looks nice. Let's see. There we go. This is it, guys. I'm looking to execute on a buy position as soon as we break the highs. Everything's looking good now, forming higher highs, higher lows. Another nice push up to the top side. Let's see. I don't want it to reject. Let's break the highs. Let's break the highs. Another nice push to the top side. Let's go. Explosive push to the top side. And we're in this. Just want to see another nice push to the top side. Starting as soon as we start breaking 1863.30, we should be good to go. And this is it. This is a second attempt to break the highs. If we start breaking the current highs again, I'm in this. Because I have the confirmations on my side. The volatility is on our side as well. Either that or... And let's get another nice push to the top side. There we go. One more push. Okay, guys, I like this now. I'm in these buy positions. They make sense now, honestly. I'm going to aim for the one-to-one. I like this now. It makes sense. It does make sense to hold this to the top side, because look, at this point now, what business do we have rejecting from here, right? So now you want to see these lows being respected. I'm in this buy position all the way to the top side, and with the next 15 minutes, we should respect the lows and just start breaking to the top side, honestly. Can I show you guys my charts? So this is the position here. Hopefully now you want to see the lows being respected, right? You don't want to see these lows being violated. If it starts, that's why the stop loss is really tiny, about 20 pips, and the one-to-ones all the way up here. We waited for our confirmations. These were our confirmations, right? Everything is screaming. At this point, look, again, the rejections to the downside were not as aggressive as they should have been, right? This just becomes your pullback at this point. Look at the way hourly is rejecting as well, and we have formed new highs for the days as well. We are so bullish on the intraday time frame. This just becomes your retracement, your pullback. So as long as we start respecting these lows over here, I think we should be good to go. Obviously, we can get a pullback down to this area. We can get a pullback, just a retest with the new 15-minute open now. But if we start breaking these highs with this new 15-minute open, I think we're going to explode to the top side. But again, is a new 15-minute open. We can get a pullback. But as long as we start respecting the lows, we should be good to go up. Good to go up. So let's see. Just going to let this play out now. Again, look at the volatility. The volatility was to the top side, right? Look at this engulfing bearish candle. Have we seen anything like that to the left? No. So as long as these lows here are being respected, that's why the stop loss is literally below this, right? As long as the lows are being respected, we should be good to go up. This is a high confirmation trade, high probability trade. So if this plays out, amazing. So now we just want to see these highs over here being broken, 1863. We can obviously expect a little bit of a pullback because there is a 15-minute time frame candle, right? And it's just open. Look at all of these rejections from the downside. Honestly, price is just rejecting, forming higher highs and higher lows. We still haven't violated the structural lows, so it really does make sense, right? So now you also want to start marking out your pullback areas. Look at that, we're about to break the highs as well. As soon as we start breaking above this 1863.60, I think we're going to see a very nice push to the top side. Very nice push to the top side. And then obviously you need to start marking out those next pullback areas. We have a pullback area right there. We have another pullback area. Obviously price came all the way up to this level here, and then from there, so obviously you can expect pullbacks from these areas. This was obviously the first pullback area is right here. Obviously we need to first break this, right? So now if we start breaking above this, that becomes our next pullback area, and then obviously we clear that, the next pullback area is all the way up there. At this point, look, we shouldn't break these lows. If we start breaking these lows at that point, look, this trade becomes invalid. So we should really respect the lows, the structure lows, which are all the way down there. So my stop loss is a little bit tighter. It's actually below the current 5-minute lows, 15-minute lows. But honestly, we should really respect them. We should start respecting it. Maybe come down to retest, form a bottom wick, because you guys gotta understand it needs to form a bottom wick on the 15-minute in order for it to push up. But now if you start turning this into a support area, start breaking these highs, oh, at that point we're pushing all the way to the top side, all the way to the top side. But guys, look at this, all about transparency. We're showing you as soon as we took a trade, we're in this trade, you can see in a 2-pip drawdown, but it's part of the game. The entry is literally right here, and so as soon as we start breaking above this, that's again probability to the top side. As soon as we start breaking above 1863, probability to the top side. Can this kind of engulf everything to the left now? Can we see some? There we go, there we go. Look at this rocket ship starting to push all the way to the top side, all the way to the top side. There we go, guys. Look at this, 4.5 pips up at this point now. There we go. So now next rejection area is 1863. So if we do see a pullback from this area, we are expecting it, so it should not scare us. We're up about 5 pips at this point now. If this starts running, I'm going to secure about 1 to 1 and 80%. I'll let 20% of my position run all the way to the daily highs. So now at this point, look, we have closed above 1863.64. That's a confirmation to the top side. As soon as we start breaking these highs, we're going to go up to 1863.98. If we can start closing above 98, that's more probability to the top side. And then after that, obviously, last bit of a rejection area is 6.4. And then we clear 6.4, we're going straight to our TP, right? So amazing. Until then, we just got to let price do its thing. We're forming higher highs and higher lows. Look at the 15 minutes starting to reject from the downside as well. If we can start breaking these highs again now, guys, look, confirmations out to the top side, right? Look at the bottom wick. We have a bottom wick now at this point as well. So honestly, you don't want to see, the thing is, right, the bottom wick is still so tiny. So if there is not much volatility in the market and the price does start ranging, we can potentially come down to the downside as well. It's something that's expected. But now if the volatility kicks in, you guys are going to see this is going to go straight to our TP. It's going to fly straight to our TP if the volatility kicks in at this point now. We just need to start breaking above 1863. If we start breaking above 1863, I think at that point we're going to see a rocket ship. Because that's the last bit of an area where you have, like, you know, a lot of sellers are like sitting up here at 1863.98. So as soon as we start clearing this, you're going to see more buy orders being executed. At that point, you're going to see a lot of volatility kick into the market. Until then, you can see some sort of pullbacks to the downside as well. But unless we actually violate the structural laws, the trade is still valid. So fluctuations should not concern us, honestly. It's part of trading, right? Fluctuations should not concern us. Just gotta let the trade play out. It's a high confirmation trade. As I said, as soon as we start breaking above this, we're gonna see a rocket ship is gonna fly straight to our TP, guys. Straight to our TP. There we go. Amazing. We're up about 6-7 pips. Oh, look at this candle, guys. Wow. About 7 pips at this point now. This is the last bit of a pullback area. After this, we should start pushing. Oh, look at this. 9 pips up. 9 pips up, guys. 9 pips up. As soon as we start tapping 1865.00, I'm going to make it risk-free. There we go. About 9 pips up at this point, guys. Make sure you drop a like on the YouTube live stream. Wow, look at this, guys. Look at this. 12 pips up at this point now, guys. Start dropping W in the YouTube live stream, guys. It's going to go straight to our TP at this point. What a nice trade. Wow, look at this, 12 pips up at this point now. As soon as we start tapping 1864.85, we can expect another pullback, which is expected, but obviously because those are, I think, like your 15-minute highs as well, right? But as soon as we clear this, guys, we're going all the way up to the resistance area, honestly. But at this point now, if it starts breaking the 15-minute lows, make sure you guys drop. Make sure you guys do manage your risk. But guys, start dropping a W in the YouTube live stream. Look at this beautiful trade so far. Beautiful, beautiful trade. You guys should have secured profits at this point now, made it risk-free. I'm holding this for a reason, but this should be a risk-free trade for most of you guys. This should be a winning trade. This should not come back to a drawdown. You guys should have secured profits. You're up 10 pips at this point now after waiting for so long. And again, guys, this is the new 5-minute open. Look at the 5-minute candle. Look at that. This candle should have more volatility. And wow, look at this trade. Wow, look at this, right? Obviously, at this point, you want to expect another pullback. And look at this. Oh, wow, guys, look at this. Woof, look at this. It's going to fly straight to the TP. 13 pips up. Wow. Obviously, we have a rejection area about here, so we can expect some pullbacks, which is part of the game. So it should not really scare us. But as soon as we start clearing 1864.85 and start tapping 186500, I'm going to... Oh, stop it. Guys, winning trade straight to the TP. Drop a W in the YouTube live stream. Straight to the TP. Look at that, guys. Wow, risk-free trade straight to the TP. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Everyone's drop a W in the YouTube live stream. Wow, guys. Look at this beast all the way from the downside as well. At this point, it's a risk-free trade. Amazing. Look at that. It flew straight past our TP so quickly. I was not even expecting that. Amazing, guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing. 80% has been secured. The rest I'm going to let it run all the way up to the daily highs now, which are all the way up there. But wow, guys. See how patience pays. Everyone drop a W in the YouTube live stream. What amazing trade, right? Amazing, amazing trade. Everything was shown to you guys with 100% transparency, guys. Let's see if everyone can drop a like on the YouTube live stream and start dropping W's in the live chat. Wow, guys. Wow. Wow, wow, what amazing trade this was, right? See, that's why patience pays, guys. Patience pays. Look, we're catching it all the way from the downside as well. At this point, we can see like hundreds and hundreds of pips to the top side. What amazing trade this was, right? 100% transparency. So guys, start spamming W's in the YouTube live stream and drop a like on the YouTube live stream as well. We're gonna be here every single day with 100% transparency. Just one trade taken, and look at that. It went straight past our TP. It's risk free now, so I cannot lose any money on my runner, guys. I cannot lose any money on my runner. This is a risk free trade. 80% has been secured. As you guys saw, the TP was here, and now my main target is the current daily highs. At current daily highs, I would take out my main position. So I mean my runner position. So guys, what amazing session on the YouTube live stream. Taken one trade. But guys, look at this. Now again, we can most probably scale in on this, but we have to wait, right? Need to have patience. Amazing, guys. Amazing day. Look, see, that's why guys waiting patience like really pays, man, in this game. Look at this. We've been waiting for so long. Our session actually, like, we started live stream around 1 o'clock, so we have been waiting for like 1.5 hours, like, just for this quick move. Look at this. Look at how strong this move was. We quit all the way from the downside, guys, and at this point, look, we're just gonna form higher highs and higher lows, and it's gonna go straight to the top side. Garcia, did you catch this, my brother?
Yeah, brother, I'm still holding this shit.
Yeah, bro, this is us catching you all the way from the downside. Honestly, guys, imagine we got the NYSE approaching in the next 5 minutes. If we can start forming a support up here, NYSE is gonna give us such a massive push to the top side, all the way to the daily highs. Wow, that's gonna be so beautiful. So I'm holding about 1.77 lots on this runner position. And guys, this is gonna be so nice. I think we can easily see 100 pips to the top side if the runner does survive. Right now, we're up about 16 pips. I'm gonna move my TP at 100 pips, honestly. Yeah, let's move it at 100 pips. We can really easily cash in on these 100 pips. If the runner can survive, guys, before the NYSE, which is in the next 6 minutes, and we start forming higher highs and higher lows above this rejection area here, which is 1865.55. Oh guys, we're gonna see NYSE kick in. So much volatility is gonna kick in, and at this point we're gonna see so many buy orders being executed as well. We're gonna see a beast of a move to the top side. But let's see if our runner can survive, because the position's at break even at this point now. But honestly, the way price action is moving right now, we're forming higher highs, higher lows. You gotta understand, right? Where was the next bit of a area where price did start to reject from? Is like all the way here, right? Is all the way here. So if we can start breaking above this, start forming a support area, because look, if there are sell orders here, there are also buy orders here as well, if you understand how the price action works, right? So if you can start forming some sort of higher highs, higher lows above here, this support area, turn this into your support area, and then NYSE kicks in, and then this area turns into your support area, you're going to see a massive engulfing bullish candle all the way to the top side. Make sure you guys drop a like on the YouTube live stream, guys. Look, we're all about 100% transparency. If you guys do drop a like, it will help us out with the algorithm, and it will make us happy, right? It will keep us motivated. We got about 16 likes, guys. We got 40 people watching. Come on, can we drop at least 40 likes? That's our target for the day. Can we get 40 likes? We're still here. Our session is still open. We still have another half an hour left, and guys, NYSE is literally just approaching as well in the next 4 minutes, and hopefully with the NYSE we can see a massive push to the top side. And I'm honestly holding this run up. all the way up to the daily highs, all the way. Look, the daily highs are all the way up here, right? So if you took a position all the way down here, and now if this is your runner position, and if it survives, guess what? You're easily seeing 70 pips to the top side. That's like easily. And if you break to the top side as well, this is liquidity once again. You're grabbing all of this liquidity. At that point, the target is actually 18. Oh, look at this candle, guys. Wow, the target is actually 1875. So imagine like 1875, that's more than 100 pips, guys. Come on, look at this sniper entry. Look at the risk to reward on this as well, guys. Like, look at everything, right? So amazing trade taken, amazing. So make sure you guys drop a like on the YouTube live stream. So how many likes do we have now? We have 22 likes. Amazing. Let's see if we can run that up to 40, guys. And honestly, I'm excited for NYSE. If we can survive this, you're gonna see a massive push to the top side. Look, the best case scenario will be that obviously this became our rejection area. We were expecting that, right? So if we can turn this area into a support area before NYSE, with the NYSE, this should turn into our bottom wick. So we should have a pullback down to this area, turn this into, like, you know, a bottom wick, and then start breaking this higher. We're gonna see a massive explosive push to the top side. We're gonna see something so big, you guys. Like, trust me, you're gonna see something so explosive to the top side. But let's see if our runner can survive, because our run is literally all the way here. And I have like 20% running on this. So if this goes up and gives me even like 100 pips, I'm going to make like another more than $1,000 just on the runner. That's the best thing, right? Okay, another 2 minutes left for the NYSE. Can our runner survive before the NYSE kicks in? Well, we have secured the 1-to-1. So this is a risk-free trade now, winning trade actually. And so let's see if our runner can do some damage. So now we need to see, guys. We got another 2 minutes left. Can we see that explosive move in the next 2 minutes? So guys, we've got about 41 people watching. Look at that. We're taking trades, giving you guys the analysis, everything with 100% transparency. So make sure you guys drop a like on the YouTube live stream. Our target for the day is 40 likes. We have about 25 likes. Can you see 40 likes today? All you guys got to do is just drop a like. It takes 1 second. 1 second. Okay, look at that. We're starting to hold at this point now. If we start clearing 1864.45, we're going to see a nice push to the resistance level. And if we start chilling around the resistance level with the NYSE approaching, I think the bottom wick should be done by 1863.80 tops. And then from there, just take it all the way back up. Another minute left, guys. Can we survive? Can we survive the bottom wick? Can we survive the bottom wick? If we start clearing this area at this point now, it can become a little bit hard, right? But honestly, look where the rejections are from. The rejections are honestly all the way from down here, right? So I think we can really survive the bottom wick. We really can. Really can. But at this point, look, risk-free trade, guys. Amazing, right? Still up 6 pips. Oh, don't stop me out. Let's see if my runner can do some damage. If we start reject, so look, price does reject from here as well. Oh, am I gonna get stopped out, or are we gonna survive this, guys? This is the runner, by the way. Risk-free position. The main position has been secured. Are we going to survive this? With the NYSE, we're going to see such a nice push as well. Okay. Guys, unfortunately, my runner has been stopped up. But again, drop a W in the YouTube live stream. This was a winning trade taken. Let's see what NYSE does now. Look at this. This is the NYSE. This is the bottom wick done. And look at this. It's just going to explode all the way to the top side. It's just I got wicked out, guys. My runner has been wicked out. But wow, what amazing trade taken, right? Look at this. It's just going to fly to the top side now. Wow. This NYSE open, amazing. Look at that. It's not even going to create a bottom wick. It's just going to explode to the top side. Look at this. Just wicked out my runner, unfortunately. But as soon as we start clearing these highs over here, 1864.45, we're going to go all the way to the top side. Honestly. Man, another buy position could be making sense soon. With the NYSE now, if we can start clearing these highs, honestly, another buy position to the top side makes a lot of sense. Let me see how big the stop loss is, though. How big the stop loss is, like. Okay, look at that. This is your upper wick now. Look at the 30-minute time frame, right? So let's see if it forms a bottom wick, and then after that, ooh, look at this rejection. I told you guys it's gonna push to the top side. Look at this beast, man. I might take a trade here, honestly. I might be looking to take a buy position here, guys. This is going to push all the way to the top side. Look at the bottom wick formation and then straight push up. Honestly, I might be taking a buy position here now, honestly. If I see like a 20 pip stop loss, Otherwise, look, I want to be super careful. But, oh man, look at this bottom wick formation and straight push to the top side. You see where the volatility is. If you start breaking above 1863 again, I think we can really take it back up. Really. Until then, got to be super careful. Because first trade was a winner. We don't want to rush into another trade. Oh, guys, I'm really liking this, honestly. If I see 20 pips stop loss, if I see 20 pips here, I'll take a position. But I want to see explosive move kicks in, like some sort of momentum kick into the top side. Okay, new candle, is it going to start violating the lows, or is it going to start creating that bottom wick and start pushing to the top side? Oh man, I think we can really see something nice now. We have the bottom wick at this point now. I wish we could see some sort of a deeper bottom wick and then push up. Do you know what I mean? But look, at this point now, it's formed highs as well as lows. So let's see. Ooh, look at the rejections, man. Look at the rejections. Look at the 4 hour as well. It's got the bottom wick, right? Yeah, the 4 hour. Oh man, the 4 hour has the bottom wick. As soon as we start violating the 4 hour highs, we should be good to go up. I want to be super careful because of this resistance area here. So let's see, break of these highs over here, potentially could take a position here. But until then, want to be super careful because we are rejecting off of that 1 hour resistance level. Okay, this over here now, it's turning into a rocket ship. I want to see volatile candles kicking now, like breaking to the top side at this point now. Until then, I'm sitting out on this buy position, honestly. But there's so much potential to the top side, that's the thing. Even to the downside as well, but downside becomes a bit tricky right now. The 4 hour is rejecting. Let's see. If it starts breaking these 4 hour lows, at that point you want to see a retest and break. But buy position right now, you have to wait. You want to wait for a nice close at least above this area here, where you started to see momentum kick in from to the downside. So buyers, a nice close above, nice engulfing bullish candle. I think at that point buyers make a lot of sense. We have to wait. Look at the hourly candle quickly. We're just literally doing a retest, forming a bottom wick. And look at the way price is just rejecting from the downside. Just so you would want to see at least like a nice close. This becomes a pullback, start breaking these lows. Yeah. Man, sells are so tricky right now. Sells, I would honestly say below 1860. Otherwise, like, it's just like, in my opinion, it's just a pullback. And we can potentially just capitalize on another buy position here. Guys, I need to see my whole MetaTrader 5. I'll show you guys the positions when I take it. Because right now it's on split screen. I can barely see anything. Okay, cool. Again, look at the candles. Sells, if we start breaking the 4 hour lows over here, and then you see more momentum kick into the downside, at that point, yes, sells. Until then, no sells for me. I want to take another buy position though, if we see some volatility kick into the top side. But right now, sells are really tricky, unless we start breaking below here. Come on, is the momentum candle going to kick in now to the top side? Ooh, it's starting to reject as well. Still sitting on my hands right now, guys. As I said, there are certain things we look for right now. We don't see it. When we do see it, we'll execute. First position was a winner, so we have no need to actually take another position, right? We've made our profits. No need whatsoever. This is our second position. Need to wait for those extra bit of confirmations, and then we can execute. But as I said, it needs to break the 4 hour lows first, and then another pullback candle. And then at that point, you can execute on a sell position. Until then, it's just all buys. Look at the previous. Ooh, look at this candle starting to push to the top side at this point. Ooh, this is starting to look really good, honestly. Let's see if we can get a nice engulfing bullish close as well. Look at the daily at this point. Again, daily just rejecting from the downside, formed new highs. This becomes your pullback to potentially go up to retest the daily highs. That's the question we should be asking. So I had one winning trade, have to wait for that extra bit of confirmation. This is NYSE. You should see a lot of momentum kick in now, right? Oh gosh, guys, I was looking to execute on a position, tiny position, dynamic risk, but my magic keys would not allow me to do that. The thing is, right, if my magic keys does this, it's not going to let me open up position. I know that for a fact. If it does this now, it's not going to let me open up a position, and I'm going to end up missing out. Oh, magic keys, wake up before my position shows up. Okay, we'll do this 10, 4, and 4. See, like 3 actually. The really nice position could be showing up here, honestly, real soon. Okay, can we open up magic keys now? Okay, now magic keys is working, guys. Let's see. Hopefully it doesn't bug out at this point. Cool. Still waiting for a massive engulfing bullish candle to close to the top side to take it back up. But again, we do understand that obviously looking at the hourly time frame, this can also be the area where the sells can really start playing out from, and this might just be that area. But again, I want to be super careful. I want to see the 4-hour lows. Okay, this is it, guys. Look at the 4-hour lows about to get violated at this point now. The 4-hour lows are over here. As soon as we start breaking below the 4-hour lows, you're waiting for a pullback. Previous 4-hour lows, because you understand there are a lot of sell orders here. At that point, look, the daily lows are all the way down there. But I'm still sitting on my hands though. Because really nice sells can start playing out below the 4-hour lows. Really nice sells can start playing out below the 4-hour lows. But until then, this can just become a pullback and a retest to collect more buy orders. So until we break below this 4-hour lows, it doesn't make sense to actually like take a sell position just yet. But you guys can see, as soon as we break below the 4-hour lows, look at this area. This can turn into some sort of resistance area to start dumping. Until then, it's just, ooh, look at this. Ooh, look at this candle. All the way to the top side. Oh man, magic keys, what is up with you? Still bugging out. Yeah, I don't know what it is with magic keys, guys. Honestly, it's always just bugging out on me. As soon as like I open it, it will bug out. Okay, 2, 2, let's do 5. Okay, cool, should work now. Okay, can we open this now? Okay, cool, magic keys is working now. Okay, look at this now. Again, you gotta understand, is this your pullback area now? At this point, honestly, if I see another push to the top side, I might be executing on a buy position here, guys, if I see volatility kick in. Okay, got a bit of a rejection from the top side when the candle pushed up for the first time. Is it going to push up for the second time, violating the highs that we have formed on the previous candle? If it does, at that point, we're going up to the resistance really easily, right? Otherwise, it can turn into a pullback and start breaking to the downside. But again, 4-hour lows are all the way down there. After we break the 4-hour lows, look what happens, right? Price turns this into a resistance, and then from there you get a massive dump to the downside. Look at that, massive dump. So you want to watch out for this area. I'll actually just put a box here to make it easier. So we have had one winning trade. We don't need to look for another trade, but if something like this shows up below here, sells. Until then, it's just buys. I'm not looking for any sells above this area. It's all buys. If I see engulfing bullish candles, I'm taking a buy position. Look at the way this candle is just printing now. It just wants to go up. It's the new 5-minute open as well. Can you see some more momentum kick in? So I'll wait probably like, let's see if we can see a buy setup kicking in the next 2 minutes, or a sell, next 10 minutes, or the sell setup. Otherwise, I'm going to call it a day because our session closes at 3. So I'm waiting for another 10-15 minutes to see if something shows up. Otherwise, we've had a winning day. Don't need to take another trade. But if something shows up, like the potential is insane. That's the thing. We can easily see 100 pips either to the top side or the downside. But right now our job is to figure out if this is a bottom wick or if this is a rejection now from the top side, because look at the previous candle as well, right? It did reject, and we do understand a lot of sell orders are sitting here and they usually do get executed. But again, this is where we formed our bottom wick from on the previous 4 other candles, so a lot of buy orders are here as well. So this can just be a pullback correction, because look, the previous candle was so massive, right? So this can just be a correction, retest, double bottom can be formed here, right? Look at that, it could be double bottom right here, and then from there massive push all the way to the daily highs. So that's why I'm not fussy. I'll take a buy position here as well. But if you start forming lower lows, lower highs below this area here, and something like this starts to form up, I'm taking it all the way down. But until then, buys, buys, and buys, and buys. Sells are tricky right now. More happy with a buy position, but wanna wait. Let me see if my magic keys I can turn it on again. Okay, it's still fine. It's not gonna reject. Nice. I've lowered down my risk, by the way, on the second trade to 0.5%. We've taken our first trade. It was a winner. Are you freezing? Oh, I'm frozen. My bad, guys. You guys need to remind me every time I freeze. Sometimes I freeze because it's a bit cold over here in the UK. Okay, let's see what happens. Hopefully the next 15 minutes will give you that push up, but our session closes in the next 15 minutes as well. So guys, this last 15-minute candle is the one I'll give a chance to actually like execute on a trade, but otherwise I'm going to call it a day, because another couple minutes our session is going to end. So at 3 o'clock, as you guys can see, it's about 2:43 at this point. So at 3 o'clock we're going to end the session. So if before that opportunity shows up, we'll execute. Otherwise we're going to secure our profits, call it a day. Had a winning day. Amazing day. Another 2 minutes left for the 15-minute to open. What are we going to see? So 4 hour lows are all the way there. If we can violate 4 hour lows, start turning potentially like 1860 into a resistance, we are more than happy to take it down, right? Otherwise this can potentially turn into a double bottom. So let's see what happens now, guys. Are we gonna see another minute left at this point now? And if with the 15-minute open we start rejecting from up here, I'm gonna take it down. But this is the last bit of an area where we can start collecting buy orders from. So now with the next 15-minute open, let's see what happens. If it starts turning this area into resistance, I'm taking it all the way down. So let's see what the next 15-minute does. But I'm not taking a trade before the next 15-minute open though. So there we go. Yeah, next 15-minute, need to wait for it now. And this should turn into your pullback candle. Next 15 minutes should form an upper wick, and at that point just start dumping all the way to the downside. So let's see what the next 15-minute does, guys. This is it, starting to reject again. Let's see with the next 15-minute, we should get the open. And there we go. See, from here, buy orders are being collected. That's the thing, right? So you want to be super careful right now. You want to see this area being turned into some sort of pullback area. You want to see this starting to reject and starting to break to the downside. At that point, you can cash in on those sells. Right now, we need to wait. 15-minute open now. Let's look at the 15-minute candle. Previous one had a little bit of a rejection. This one's turning this and turning this into a support area. If you see a engulfing bullish candle, you can still take a buy position here. But in sells to play, now for the sells to play out, you need to start breaking to the downside. At that point, sells make a lot of sense. Until then, still a buy position. Ooh, look at this. Straight to the top side. See, this area is still holding. That's the thing, guys. So at this point now, look, this is the 15-minute open, right? If it doesn't break these lows, at that point, you're going all the way to the top side. It is so simple. So simple. So if I see now everything starting to be engulfed to the left, I can even look to take a buy position here now, honestly. Buy position makes a lot of sense.
Hey brother, I gotta run, but thanks again.
Alright, my brother. I'm just getting my magic keys ready. Guys, I might be taking a buy position as soon as we start to engulf everything to the left. Otherwise, sells here. Take care, my brother. Take care, everyone. Last trade will be taken here, guys, if we see momentum either to the top side or the downside. Let's see if we can start breaking these highs again with momentum. A massive candle to the top side. Can we see that? Otherwise, I'm gonna call it a day, either to the top side, or this should start becoming a rejection area, start breaking to the downside. But if you can see even something like this playing out, oh man, that'll be amazing, right? Amazing. Grabbing a lot of liquidity, creating that bottom wick to potentially push all the way to the top side. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Magic keys are ready. We're ready to execute. We just want to see a nice engulfing bullish candle at this point, starting to break all the way to the top side. A position like this, aiming for the 1-to-1. Okay, can we see explosiveness kick in now? Starting to violate 1861.70. Something like this I want to see play out. 1-to-1s will easily be targeted if something like this plays out. Otherwise, sells below there. So sells should be below here. But again, sells become very tricky now. We're starting to reject, starting to turn this area into support now. If we turn this area into support, see engulfing bullish candles, I'm taking this bad boy. Alright guys, I'm in this position. 1-to-1. I'm honestly in this position at this point. I'll secure 80% at 1-to-1. Because look, it makes a lot of sense. Again, we're turning this into a support area, but this is a tiny position though. So even if I lose this, I'll still be in profits. So yeah, first position was a winner. You don't want to risk all your profits on this position. So there you go. Second position, I'm in here now. It makes a lot of sense, honestly. And as soon as we start, look, now you need to see where can we reject from. We can reject from this area right here, and the 1-to-1s are actually just over there. Where can we reject from? We can reject from there. Where is my line gone? Line just disappeared on the MetaTrader 5. There it is. So from there we can expect those pullbacks, and so as soon as we start clearing this area, I'm going to look to make it risk free. But honestly, everything looks good. Stop loss is literally below the structure lows. We should not violate these lows at this point if it wants to push up. We're turning this area into support. At this point, you should really see a rocket ship candle all the way to the top side. But if we start holding this as a resistance, start breaking all lows, at that point, I'm going to call it a day. But this should be good to go. Because look, everything is bullish. And right now, literally, this becomes like your 50% pullback as well, right? Look at that. We haven't really done anything so far on gold. It needs to still either push to the top side or the downside. So yeah. But this is a tiny position though, guys. Again, it's more like my first position was the main position. This is just like a dynamic risk position to see if I can hold it all the way to the top side. But obviously, I'll make a risk-free at 1-to-1, right? So you guys should be done for the day if you took a buy position. And if you are taking this with me, make sure it's a dynamic risk position, so you guys can actually hold it. Because I want to hold this all the way to the top side. Because look at the daily highs. If you can take this position here all the way to the top side, we can easily see like 100 pips to the top side. So this is basically what this is called, is like risking some of the profits that you've made on the day, just risking them to kind of like make more profits, right? But you're not risking all of them. That's the key word. Some of the profits, not all of them. So if I lose this, I'll still be in profits basically. But if I win this, I'll make more profits. That's the best thing about dynamic risk, right? But I would not like to scale in on this though, because my session is literally about to end in the next 11 minutes. So scale-ins, I'm not off for no scale-ins. So now again, from here, you want to see this area turn into a rejection area. You want to give it a little bit more room to breathe actually. There we go. From here, you should see engulfing bullish candles printing out. You don't want to see the lows being violated. You see engulfing bullish candle going straight to our TP, and hopefully if you can start turning this area into a support area, at that point obviously our partial TP will get hit as soon as we get the new hourly opening. Look, you're forming higher highs and higher lows as well on the structure. Look at the 4-hour, again rejecting, massive rejections, turning this area into a support area. Really nice rejections. This should be your bottom wick done. A lot of buy orders get executed here, so we have the momentum there as well. Now everything's lining together, right? Everything. But again, if you start breaking below this, really good sells can also start playing out. That's why it's a dynamic risk. So for me to actually like capitalize on a buy position, let's say if it was our session, I would have taken one tiny position here and another one up there, because this can very easily just reverse very easily. That's why it's a tiny position. Tiny position. Really tiny position, as you guys can see. But let's see what happens. Let's see how it plays out. Got another 9 minutes left, guys. That's when I'm going to call it a day. At this point, if it starts breaking these 4-hour lows, I'm going to take this position now. Otherwise it's just gonna start ranging as well. It does usually range around this level, so I don't want to get caught in the range. That's one thing I do understand, that obviously price does start to range around this level. Either that, or you're gonna see volatility kick into the downside and start breaking these lows, go straight down to the stop loss. But I've given it a little bit more room to breathe. I'll be so tempted to add in though another tiny position. Actually, no. I'm not adding any more tiny positions now. Just gonna let this play out. Had a winning day, guys. Another dynamic risk position just to see if we can capitalize on some more profits. If it works out, I'm holding this, by the way, really easily, all the way to the top side. So look, the current daily high is actually all the way up there. So if this works out now, it will give us such nice profits, man. But obviously at 1-to-1, I'm going to make it risk free though, because I don't want to actually like hold it. So I'll just close 80%. So I'll just have like 20% running. It's not much, but again, like I mean, like from here all the way to the top side, I'm still holding for like 60 pips. So it's still something, right? Let's see. We're just waiting for some momentum to kick in, hopefully in the next 5 minutes, and then at that point it should be good to go up. Again, looking at the 4-hour, look at your 4-hour candle. It should not break its own lows. It should keep respecting this area as a support area, as we do understand that this is a really nice support area. But if we do turn this into a resistance, at that point obviously it's too late into the session. I won't be looking to capitalize on those sells. From here the buys should really work out. The 1-to-1s should at least get hit really easily. We just need to start forming higher highs and higher lows. Obviously we did expect this area to turn into a pullback area, right? So it's turned into a pullback area now. So as soon as we start to violate these structure highs that we have formed, at that point obviously the next pullback area is there. As soon as we start clearing that, we're going all the way up. But if we start breaking below this area now, we're potentially getting stopped out, right? So we should start respecting these lows here, these lows all the way there. So this candle should start breaking to the top side now, start breaking these highs over here, and hopefully with the next hourly open, before the next hourly open, if we can start forming a support above this resistance area here, that would be amazing. But look at this rejection, man. Look at this rejection from the 4-hour. The support area is really holding. More buy orders were executed. We're forming higher highs, higher lows. At this point now, as soon as we start breaking above this resistance, it's going straight to the TP. And at that point, honestly, as soon as we start breaking like 1862.70, I'm going to make it risk-free and then just call it a day. I'm going to make it, basically make it risk-free after 1862.60, because from 62 you can obviously get the pullback, right? So I'm going to give it a little bit more room to breathe from this pullback area, but as soon as we start breaking above there, I'm going to just make it risk-free. And there we go, we're coming back up now. Can we start breaking above this resistance? As soon as we break above there, that's a really nice confirmation. Two things will happen, either break above the resistance or below the resistance, right? So first area we want to watch out for is this. As long as we don't break below this, we're good to go. If we break below this, at that point the next support area is down there, and stop loss is just a couple pips below there. So right now, so far so good. So far so good. The support area is still holding at the moment. Still looks good. Everything's looking good so far. We just need momentum to kick in, and as long as we don't violate 1860.38, we should be good to go up. But if you start violating this, should look to manage risk, right? Again, I'm not going to manage risk. It's a dynamic risk position, so it doesn't make sense to manage risk on a dynamic risk position. Main position 100% would look to manage risk, but main positions are over now. It's too late into the session. No more main positions for me. That would be tomorrow now, guys. So it's a winning day today. This win or lose, it does not really count. It's more like me risking a little bit more profits, some of the profits, to make a little bit more profits. So this position here, even if it stops me out, it's still a winning day for me. But if it makes me more profits, it's a lovely day for me, right? Amazing day for me. That's how trading works. But tomorrow now, that's when the main positions will be taken with 1 to 2% risk. If you guys can do that consistently, honestly, just like keep your risk down to just like 1 to 2% on your first trade, like, and consistently do that, and then second, third trade just becomes your dynamic risk positions, you're never going to lose profits. Because imagine you make like 1-2% on your first trade and you risk 1 to 2% again on your second trade, and it doesn't play out, you're going to lose all your profits. But when you do something like this, you're risking some of the profits that you have made on the day to make more profits. So my stop loss is below the structural lows. Because if we start breaking the structural lows, at that point we're starting to push down and sells are going to play out. But again, as I said, I'm not really interested in taking any more positions, right? See you UK, see you everyone. Amazing day today, winning day. See you guys tomorrow. So again, got another 4 minutes left. At that point, my session ends as well. So yeah, let's see if we can start pushing up now. But yeah, the main positions, guys, will be taken again tomorrow. So if you guys are usually here for the main positions are done now. Main positions are usually taken before NYSE. And then with hopefully NYSE, we expect the push to the top side. And obviously when our first positions are done, the second, third position are usually dynamic risk positions. So there are not also as high probability positions as the first or second positions. But again, these are high probability setups, right? But not as high probability as the first setup, because it's dynamic risk position. So if it stops me out, it doesn't really matter. But it's more like kind of like risk to reward. You're playing with the risk to reward. You're taking a tiny position, risking some of the profits. If it plays out, look at the risk to reward. It's amazing, right? It can make you crazy returns. But if you lose it, you're just losing some of the profits you made today. So that's how trading works. If you do that consistently again and again and again, like you become highly profitable. That's the best thing about it. But again, you need to like secure profits, right? You need to build like a buffer, a foundation. At that point, you can do something like this. If you just started the week and you're up like 1% and you start doing something like this, you can mess up your gains. But when you have built a buffer, you're up certain percentage and you want to start risking some of those percentage to potentially like get more gains, at that point you can start doing something like this. But this should not be a main position for you if you are in a losing streak, or if you are in a break-even phase. You should be done with one trade a day. Something like this should not be taken by someone like you. But another 2 minutes left, guys. Are we going to push the top side or the downside? And again, look, another thing, usually around this time you're ranging. So imagine holding a main position around this time. It doesn't make sense, does it? Main positions are usually before 2:30. After 2:30, you don't want to take any main positions, in my opinion. Dynamic positions, obviously, like it doesn't really matter, right? Dynamic risk positions, but again, have to be high probability setups. But yeah, let's see what happens now, guys. Let's see what happens. We got another 2 minutes left. Can we survive the bottom wick? Okay, look, at this point we're starting to violate this structure. If we start breaking, now next support area is all the way down there. As long as we don't break below there and we just retest this, start forming a double bottom here, and then engulfing bullish candle, we should be good to go up. But if you start breaking below there, at that point you're turning this area into a resistance area. You're going to see very nice push to the downside and really nice sells can play out. But I'm not going to execute on the sells from here. I'm not going to execute on a sell because my day is done, if that makes sense, right? Otherwise, really nice sells can start playing out from here, guys. If we don't reject from here now, we start forming lower lows and lower highs now, you're going to see really nice sells play out. Really nice sells play out. And if this was during our session, I would have taken the sells. But now it's not during our session, so we got to call it a day. Okay, guys, there we go. We might just be getting wicked out on this tiny dynamic risk position. But if we do respect this support area, at that point, we should be good to go up. Let's see what happens. If I get wicked out, I'm going to call it a day. And I have been wicked out on my dynamic risk position, and usually I just take one dynamic risk position. Otherwise, even like, even if the dynamic risk positions are tiny, if you start taking 2, 3 and you start taking those losses, it can start to build up. But something like this, it doesn't affect my gains for the day. Even from here, you're going to see just buys play out now. Honestly, just got wicked out. Look at this, just got wicked out, man. It's just going to start playing now to the top side. But yeah, look at that, guy, straight to the top side. I just got wicked out, unfortunately. It is what it is, right? It's part of the game. It just wicked me out, basically. From here, it can start pushing all the way to the top side. Look at that, still rejecting the support area. So yeah, should have been a really good buy position. But again, dynamic risk. So guys, catch up with you guys tomorrow. Again, main positions are before half 2, which is NYSE. After NYSE, this is just your tiny dynamic risk positions, kind of like aiming to get some more gains out of the day. But now, honestly, if it starts breaking below this, you're going to see sells play out. Really nice sells play out now. Let's see if we can take a tiny position here. Really nice sells can start playing out over here, honestly. Really nice sells. Something like this. And you're letting this run all the way down to daily lows. If you start breaking this, look at this clean traffic down to this area. But guys, we're going to call it a day now. Our day is done. Had a winning day. Make sure you guys drop a like on the YouTube live stream. And we'll be back tomorrow again for our main positions. And one trade a day, guys. After one trade, only dynamic risk positions, 0.2% risk per trade or even less. It depends on the day. And so yeah, guys, catch up with you guys tomorrow.